mom trapped in a maze, small business owner. Stress had me in a daze, every problem piled up, couldn't catch a break. Thought I couldn't make it, my dreams were at stake. But then I found a group that changed my whole perspective. Our success group of a community so effective. We all chasing that dream, sharing struggles and fears. They understood my journey, wiped away my tears. Together we broke through, we rise above. No more feeling sad, we're fueled by love. Our small business is shining, reaching new heights. With the support of our success group, we're taking flight. The power is strong, the vision so clear. Building our dreams with no more fear. Together we're resilient, unstoppable force. With our success group. Together we broke through, we rise above. No more feeling sad, we're fueled by love. Our small business is shining, reaching new heights. With the support of our success group, we're taking flight. The power is strong, the vision so clear. Building our dreams with no more fear. Together we're resilient, unstoppable force. With our success group.
Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday evening and welcome to Rising Tide Talks. I'm Kylie Montgomery and I encourage transformation through positive energy.
And Becky, whoa, I got stuff falling off my desk. Sorry. I'm Becky Kutzer and I believe it takes a village to run a business.
And I'm Aaron Montgomery and with our success group, and we are here to help you fall deeper in love with your business, just changing have to's into get to's, right? That's kind of what I've been having fun with lately. So I'm sure we'll do some of that here tonight, and excited to have this conversation. We were just doing the math, you guys, and I don't want to freak anybody out here, but 13 days away from Christmas Eve, 14 days away from Christmas, 2 weeks. Everybody deep breath.
I'm all good.
We need your help, Becky.
Yeah.
Saturday is my day to finish any last little things that need to be taken care of for presents and wrap. I mean, like teacher gifts. I just haven't finished the teacher gifts, which there's no reason I shouldn't have finished the teacher gifts already, other than I just didn't. So, so that is on task for Saturday. So I can be done and enjoy next week.
Teacher
Good
gifts.
for you.
We're going to be lucky to get our 13-year-old a gift. So teacher
He has
sneakers.
one, Aaron. He has one gift that he picked out.
He bought himself.
So he knows.
Yes. Oh.
We won't tell Cora that she did figure out one of her gifts. So I might have done the Christmas line that doesn't count, right? Because I'm like, oh, really? I forgot about that. Wait.
That's right.
Love it.
So Chandler said in the opening, she says she's grateful for that song. Yeah, I love that song. It's a great song. It really always fires me up. So I appreciate being able to start off with that, even though we got a little late start here today. We are excited to be here. But Kylene, what should we start with?
Let's start with our superpower. We're going to start with gratitude. So as we all know, gratitude is something we all can choose to use in our life. You know, we can choose to look for the good, look for the learning opportunities, look for any type of positive from a situation, appreciating the people in our life. So we want to bring as much positive energy as we can to the show today. So we're going to start with some gratitude. So if you guys are listening, please share what you're grateful for tonight. Becky, do you want to go ahead and start for us and share what you're grateful for?
You're Hen, I was just thinking about this. I'm like, oh gosh, she's going to ask me. But today I'm just beyond grateful for my high school helper that has been helping me out the last few months. Well, she's probably been here almost. I don't think it's been a year. Maybe, I don't know. I gotta go look. Anyways, I felt like we had a daunting pile of stuff, and she really just knocked right through them and has everything pressed, and she has it folded. So I will just get stuff bagged up and ready to go that way tomorrow, and then we're sitting. I don't want to jinx us, but we're sitting really well to be able to be done and have everything ready by next Wednesday. That's my hard cutoff to be done, and try not to allow a whole lot of things that pop in and steal the next couple days away. Because Cora has stuff at school I want to be gone for, and just maybe enjoy the holiday season, which I have not done in my first few years of business. So,
congratulations, that's awesome. Erin had the pom poms out briefly. I don't know if you saw it.
Well, she said you didn't want to jinx it, so I was like,
well, no, we're good. I do need to order a few more things, but for one more order, but then we're good.
Oh boy.
Well, we're not ready for that. Oh, it's already that one's already popped.
Yeah, I popped it yesterday. I still got to clean up in here.
Yeah, I didn't tell you that. That was all over the floor.
No, you did not.
Well, I went to vacuum before this, and the vacuum's broken. So
broken.
we seem to have some trouble with our stuff right now. So between cars and vacuums and other things like that, I'm kind of over stuff right now.
So Kylene's getting a vacuum for Christmas.
Yeah, I don't know if that's so nice and appropriate, but I think maybe Santa will bring that.
There you go.
That's a family gift, is what that is.
That is.
Oh, okay, all right, family gift, got it. All right, well, let's. Anybody else wants to jump in there in the comments? Jump in here, share what you're grateful for. And the user of the vacuum handler, it could have. Well, no, because I grabbed yeah, it was not. But that vacuum's gotten a lot of use, so it's time to put it to rest. All right. Oh yeah. So where I was going, anything you guys are grateful for, go ahead and pop it in the comments there. We'd love to talk about that. Kylie, I think you kind of mentioned this, but yeah, every time we're sharing gratitude and we share it publicly and we share it with others, it just lifts us all up. And I'm hooked, right? Like Kylie will tell you, I was not a gratitude person before she got her hands on me, and I can't stop talking about it now, and because I've seen the power of it. So,
yeah.
So what are you grateful for today, then, Erin?
You know what? I'm grateful for achieving one of the goals that I set for myself for this year to close out the year. Wanted to bring in 3 new people into Masters of Success, and accomplished that today, actually. So,
yeah.
Chandler,
where's the pom-poms?
Yep, it's pom-poms, and that's not even why I set off the confetti cannon yesterday. Actually, so I set off the confetti cannon yesterday. I was working with another mastermind group that I facilitate, and one of the young ladies in there had said, even though her Etsy sales were down 30 to 40%, she actually achieved her 30% growth goal for her business at the beginning of December. And so she was kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of struggling. I feel like I'm coasting right now because I achieved the goal and I don't want to do anything else. And I said, well, then don't, but let's celebrate it. So
that's huge.
Yeah, it was huge. But the bummer part is I went and did it and it didn't pop. It was like a dud. So I had to tear it open and then I just dumped it like this. I think it's just
I was wondering why it was
on that.
Yeah.
What's that?
Is there an expiration date on that?
No, I hope not, because I've got a whole bunch more that I hope they're not all. Uh-oh. Yeah, this was production date of 2019. Yikes. Uh-oh.
We better start setting off some more then.
Yeah, I guess.
We get that new vacuum, we can set one off once a week.
Yeah, for sure. There we go.
Break it in.
Yeah, it's definitely going to get broken. Now I have to get the stuff out of my keyboard. So yeah, that's what I'm grateful for. Excited to see where Masters of Success is heading. Just because we reached the goal doesn't mean that we're not open to a few more. So we've got quite a group over in our Tuesday group, but our Monday group needs some more people. So we had somebody taking a little hiatus, and So if you are interested, and even if the times don't work, we'll figure it out, and we can get you in there. Prices are going up drastically come January 1st. So, like, drastically. I had mentioned some numbers before, but after kind of looking at things, talking with my business coach, yeah, wasn't enough. So, because we know the value, right? I mean, you guys know the value. Everybody knows the value, and so to make this work and to make it, get the right people in there, yeah. So now's your chance to lock in your price, because once you're in, you're in. That's always been the way I've been. People tell me that I'm crazy, but just a value of mine. So why not, right?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I went on and on. Kylene, how about you?
I am grateful for Aaron today. So he mentioned briefly we've been having some lovely car issues, and Aaron got to deal with pretty much all of it today. And it wasn't a fun experience for him, but I'm grateful he got through it and communicated very well.
It
His
was close.
knowledge of how to treat customers and how to create win-wins really worked, and I'm really grateful for that. It could have been a different outcome. So.
Could have.
Yep.
I told Lewis in the car after, when I picked him up. We were talking about my day, and I'm like, I'm just glad I'm here to pick you up, buddy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, well, thank you, Kylie. I appreciate that. Again, you guys in the comments, let us know what you're grateful for, but let's check in with everybody. Becky was like, Chuck's not here. And then we started, and Chuck is here.
And Chuck was here. Yes.
Yep. So, Chuck, thank you for being here, sir. And Rena says, hello, everyone. Listening while cutting trophy columns. That's a good thing. That must mean that there's business happening. So, awesome. And then we've got Barb checking in here as well. Hello, everyone from North Central Minnesota. So, appreciate you guys being here. Again, gratitude. Let's bring it, you guys. So, I guess the other thing I wanted to share with everybody is just take a moment and go share this with your community. Make sure that we get some perspectives over here. Kylene and Becky, and they asked me about it, and I said, this sounds perfect. So we've got something that we think we want to talk about, but we're honestly here to have a conversation with you guys and go from there. So, Becky, I don't know if you have like an interaction, a question based on the topic that we talked about, anything that you want to kind of lead in with on that. I'm kind of putting you on the spot.
My question would be, who's overwhelmed with only 13, 14 days left till Christmas? This kind of stems, this year I actually feel pretty good. However, this is the first year in the 6 years I've been in business that I have probably felt this way. Last year was better, but the first 4 years, the overwhelm for me at Christmas time was so high it wasn't even funny. So I want to know how are you guys doing? First of all, are you overwhelmed? Because I've been there, done that, and we want to make sure that we are, not getting to that overwhelm side of life, because that happens to be about the time when things don't go right. Everything seems to go wrong. And
kind of like snowballs, right? Is that
yes,
kind of
yep, the dominoes and the snowball and whatever kind of falls into place when that stuff happens. So, I mean, you guys aren't quite in the apparel industry right now for making sure things are done right before Christmas, but how about you guys? Are you in that overwhelm? I only heard one present for Lewis, and I don't think that's enough, but
he certainly doesn't either.
I'm going to have to send him something.
No.
Well, we also haven't received a list, so I will point that out.
Yeah,
Okay.
it does go both ways. No, that's it. So we have actually had a couple people reach out. Hey, can you do some things by Christmas? And so we get that a little bit. People are feeling that. Interestingly enough, I have been there, right? So I've been in places and situations where, like, I've slept at the production facility so we could make sure things got out on time and done that. And so I've felt that pressure. To be honest with you, yeah, I think I am feeling it a little bit, just because of, like, all of the other things that go along with it too. So talked about the presents, right? Not having presents, right? Or whatnot, if that's the case. Or, I mean, Kylene did a really nice job. The inside of her house looks great and decorated and stuff like that. But like the tree, we've still got a few ornaments that could go up that came back. We've got the star at the top of the tree that I need to get on there that I haven't. We used to be kind of the neighborhood Griswolds when it came to the outside decorations. We have nothing up outside right now. So, I'm not sure, like what I'm trying to do is figure out, is that stuff that important, right? Because we've also had times to spend together as a family and, do things like that. So I think right now I'm basically talking myself out of, do I really need to worry about all that stuff, or is it okay if it happens or doesn't happen, and focus? We can go down to St. Charles. You guys you went down there, Becky, with them and
Yep.
with us when we were there. That neat little area in Christmas, we'll go spend some time down there, that kind of thing. So anyhow, that's where I'm at. Yeah. Feeling it a little bit, but really trying to find that balance.
Yeah. I mean, I think with that, it's with anything that we're doing is just to have that intention. So being present in the moment with whatever you're doing. So those interactions, people always remember how you make them feel. So when you're with people, if you're like all scatterbrained, you're not really fully present. And so, like you said, prioritizing and just reframing how you're looking at things. This isn't going to make us have a bad Christmas if the outside isn't decorated like normal, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the story that we associate with it and that we tell ourselves. So, I appreciate you sharing that, because it's just a good way to like look at anything really. When you look at your traditions that you have, our family, we love our traditions, right? With your business, you might have certain things that you do every holiday season or every time it gets a little bit busier. But what if it didn't happen? Is there something you can learn from that?
Ooh, I like that. That's good stuff. And just so everybody knows, Becky, I know you've got somebody maybe coming in, so we just let you.
That one was the son that was asking the questions, as of course, But yes, I do have a customer that's going to come. That was the only time he could come. So I will be jumping off screen here in a few minutes.
Just for a moment. And, be back. Yeah, all good. Yep. And so anyhow, I wanted to make people aware we weren't kicking Becky out. So
I have to stay between them so they don't fight.
That's right. That's a good point. That's a good point. So I like your thoughts there, Kylene. And I think that's what's going on in my head right now is like, what stories am I telling? Does that make me a bad parent if we don't have the outside decorated, right? Is that,
I'm going to say no, because I can't get anybody to decorate my outside and I won't get up on the roof. So
there you go.
I have a wreath on the door. So I'm also out in the country, so there isn't very many people that see me. So
So again, we're curious for you guys. Where are you at? Maybe let's do this. You guys make it easy. Scale 1 to 10, 10 being not overwhelmed at all. So kind of, I think that's about where Becky's at right now. Kind of in that 9-10 range is what I'm guessing.
Yep.
With 0 being, and I know it seems opposite, but for me, I always want to be a 10. So if we're trying to be not right. So 0 being completely overwhelmed, don't even know what I'm doing right now, to 10 being, no, all good. Things are, I'm looking forward to the holiday, the Christmas being, 13, 14 days away, again, depending on when you start. So Becky, we were talking about this before.
Jump off and then I will be right back.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So, but before we get any further with this, we'll give you guys a chance to kind of put some numbers in there or whatever it is. Tell us where you're at so we can talk about it a little bit. But Barb is grateful for a hot supper from the crock pot and hot tea. Sounds a little chilly up there, Barb.
Yes, it does.
So definitely. Thank you. Appreciate you sharing your gratitude on that. Jerry, hello. We are grateful you were here. I know last time we talked to you were dealing with some health issues. So give us an update if you can. We're definitely thinking about you and praying for you. And I hear that. And then we've got Doug checking in from sunny Los Angeles, but near the Malibu fires, or not but near the Malibu fires. So
Okay.
thoughts and prayers for those dealing with
Mhm.
that. And Chandler says, my tree is decorated and I have my village up. I'm good with that. There you go. Love
Love
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, Michelle is at a zero, completely overwhelmed. So
Yeah.
understand it. And we had a chance to chat with Michelle last
Last
evening, and
Mhm.
so just lots of thoughts and prayers for her. And oh, I think Becky's back. Grab her back in here. Sorry, missed you.
Yay.
Nope, you're fine.
Um, Chuck, 6 to 7. Okay, awesome. Hey, you're above half, so that's good. Chandler out of 7. I like it.
Yes.
Rena somewhere in the middle. I've just learned over the years that somehow it's always works out. Can we talk about that for a second, you guys? I
Mhm.
think that is a huge perspective that is worth a little bit extra discussion. What does that say to you, Becky?
Well, for me, that is something I've also learned over the years, because there's been a few things that have happened. Like, I got 70 stocking hats brought back to me because the patches came off as soon as they put them on their heads.
Mm,
They did not stick whatsoever.
ouch.
And I will tell you that a couple of years ago, I would have been beside myself. I would have ruined it. Would have ruined my weekend because I got the message on Friday morning that they didn't stick because I delivered them Thursday,
Oof.
and I'm just like, there's nothing I can do at the moment. Like, I'm sitting in a vehicle headed to Minneapolis. There's nothing I can possibly do about 70 stocking hats at the moment. I cannot let this ruin my weekend.
Yeah.
I sent some messages. I talked with the gal that did the patches for me. We discussed some stuff. Was some new adhesive that the vendor was using that obviously we didn't do right, didn't do a few things right. So we kind of talked about a plan, and we had somewhat of a plan, and I didn't think about it the rest of the weekend until I needed to get them back from the customer. And I've tested one now, and the new process, which is not great because I will spray adhesive at the back of every patch, but we will be able to save the patches, we'll be able to save the stocking hats, and the customer will still get their order. So, but in years past, I would have been absolutely sick to my stomach. I would have, like I said, it would have ruined my weekend
Hmm.
because I would have been so worried about this order and what this customer thought. And it was not a great first impression for me for this customer, by the way, because this was the first thing I've done for them. So I'm hoping I can redeem myself, and
Well,
we'll go from there.
yeah, and
So
and I think,
Yeah.
yeah, real quick, I and I'll let you jump in there, Kylene. I think it's really important too to know, like you said, it's going to work out. You don't let it ruin your weekend, because you're not going to be able to really make good decisions, kind of come up with solutions,
yep.
see the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak, from that place anyways. And honestly, the fact that you're taking care of it, doing what's right, going to make it happen. I think that's probably a better impression than if everything. I mean, sure, we would have liked it to work out to begin
Right.
with, but I think the experience that we had been having with our car, at some point, I just wanted somebody to at least pretend like you cared about us.
Right.
I've never actually asked for anything other than just, please help me out. Can you do something for me? And finally had a lady today finally be willing to say, hey, we are so sorry. This is not right. Let me figure out what I can do. And she came back with a solution. And so I still haven't regained my faith in Hyundai, but I certainly have regained my faith at least in that person, right? And now we can build on that. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
sorry, Kelly, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, I was just saying, like, the communication that you had and probably how you delivered that news is genuine. And just because I know you, and I'm sure that's how it came across. And right there, you're building that customer's trust that you actually care enough to respond and to make it right for them.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, it was, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I got the email and pulled the email up and I went, what? But
Yeah. Yeah.
again,
I mean, like I said, and Chuck said, good for you not letting it ruin your
right.
weekend.
Yep.
So yeah, that's That's awesome. And so going back to Rena's comment, somewhere in the middle, just learn over the years, it's always going to work out. I think in a way, right, that you've had 6 years, Becky, to build up to this. And so I'm really proud that you've been able to kind of feel that, see that, understand where you've come from and willing to pass that along, right? Some people would probably want to keep something like that to themselves, maybe. I don't know, right? But I think that's really important that we understand that things are going to work out. And the sooner we can let go of it, the easier it will be. And I know from personal experience, that's not always, it's easier said than done for sure.
Mhm.
But super proud of you for managing that and still having an amazing weekend. In fact, I think that's what you shared, some of your gratitude around the weekend, right? I would have never known that you had that challenge on Friday until you told us.
Yep. No, it was
Good on you.
so,
Mhm.
it was
Yeah.
good. I mean, the other part for me too was like the first few years of business, I never set a deadline. I never let my customers know that I had a deadline in order to get Christmas orders done. So I know the first 2 years for sure, I was still working on Christmas Eve. And that didn't sit well with me. Didn't sit well with my kids, didn't,
Yeah.
anything. And so it still took me a couple of years past that to get figured out that I needed to, well, I shouldn't say that. I then set a deadline, but then I never stuck to it. So again, a couple of years after that, then it's a matter of, actually sticking to that deadline. And I have so far this year. I haven't taken any extra orders on at the moment, and I doubt that I will unless there's something next week that I feel that I can do,
Yeah.
because it's something I already have in stock and I can take care of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic that I think we should cover. But before we do that, I did pop the comment up. Sorry, I was timing was bad. But Jerry said, Becky, your new customer may be grateful that you could come through to make it right, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's definitely a lot to be said there.
Yeah.
Real quick, didn't want to gloss over Doug's comment. He's going to be grateful once the remodel gets finished. So let's back that up a little bit, Doug. Let's find something that we're actually grateful for. I don't know what to call that. Sometimes I call them like a backhanded gratitude, but I don't know if that's the exact right way to say it. But just, yeah, the fact that you're able to do a remodel, that's probably something that's pretty cool. Now, like you said, hopefully it won't kill your contractor. So I'm grateful.
Your remodel will not get done if you do that. So
There you go.
Please stop by that contractor. I'm grateful that you have not killed your contractor yet. So let's how about that? I love it, Doug.
Yeah.
I'm obviously playing in teasing. So,
Yeah.
And then Jerry says, "Thank you, hanging in there. Kim has done a great job getting our decorating at home done." So yeah, that's awesome, Jerry. Great to hear it. All right, so let's. I guess, Kylene, did you have anything else about Rena's comment before we get to where Becky's heading is perfect? So
Yeah, I think just to kind of build on that, it was kind of like the recovering people pleaser. We at some point you have to you can't be everything to everyone, and when the holidays approach, people's expectations can sometimes change, and their urgency becomes your urgency. So just the fact, Becky, that you protected your sacred time, and you knew you had a plan to handle it when you returned, and you could actually do something about it. I think just shows a lot of growth, and I know it's an area that I need, and I'm working on, that people pleasing, because you want to be liked, right? You want to do right all the time. We're not trying to do things wrong, but sometimes it does happen. And so I think your response was just spot on and how to handle it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. It's good to hear.
yeah, for sure.
Cool.
So two things. I'm going to go back a little further too. Like Jerry said here, the new customer. I can tell a quick story. So I don't how many years ago was it that I was with Pick the Gift, Kylene? I don't know. I'm terrible at like figuring out the timing of all.
You left in 2020, May of 2020.
That's right. Okay. All right.
So 4 or 5 years ago.
yeah. So this had to be like 18 or 19, something like that, maybe even 17. There was this customer came in. both sides had challenges. We had a big order for both sides had big challenges. She was not the easiest person to deal with in general. A lot of the people in my customer service team were like not wanting to to participate in this, and but I wanted to make sure that we took care of our responsibility for it. So I got on the phone with her, worked through it. We again did what's right, and in that doing what's right, again, you're doing what's right, Becky. You're taking care of the patches. Maybe I don't know if anybody would just be like, "Nah, sorry," but at the same time, you've probably done quite a bit to make sure that everything is taken care of, right? And so I wanted to do that, and at the same time, I worked with her to say, "Here's why these things happened and how we can better work together in the future, if you're still willing to do that." And so anyhow, short story really long, we made it right. It all worked out. And I'm currently doing a project for those guys, just a side consulting project for them, where I'm helping them gather some data from their customers to understand truly why their customers do business with them. And so I've been interviewing some of their customers, and this lady was one of those ladies that's on their list of their top customers that they wanted me to interview. And I was like, oh boy, I hope, hope things. And I had a conversation with her this Monday, and glowing. Everything was glowing. She remembered our time working on that situation together. Said she really appreciated how we handled it, and ever since then, I just try to send all my business towards those guys. And she was really open about sharing what can make it easier for her. But she said, I love working with you guys, and not I didn't go down that road. I wasn't trying to like push her into that, but I at least had this kind of sense of pride inside going, you know what? I feel like maybe I was a little bit a part of that relationship that they have now. And so it was really cool. And so again, anyhow, short story long, I think that sometimes the challenges are actually what builds those deep loyal customers.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So, all right, now back to where Becky was talking about with setting those deadlines, kind of customer service, right? This is where I always say we think that customer service is bending over backwards, doing orders until Christmas Eve, et cetera, right? That's what feels right, especially when you're newer into business. I mean, that's what I always thought, right? So, but I think what we realize is that we actually are doing our customers a disservice when we do that, right? Because we might be doing the work, but we're maybe not doing it with all our whole heart and soul because you're a little bit resentful that you're working on Christmas Eve. Like you said, Becky, it doesn't really sit right with you.
You're tired.
Yeah, you're not doing anybody any favors at that point, right? And so you built up to the point where you're able to kind of put that deadline in place.
Yep.
Then the next step is holding true to that deadline, right? Which again, that doesn't mean that we have to every time. See, this is what I love about putting those things in place. I think it's a great opportunity for you to pick and choose the customers you really want to work with. Because, okay, your deadline is X. I can't remember exactly what it was, Becky.
It was December 5th.
December 5th, right?
Yep.
Okay, today is December 11th. I show up, I'm like, Becky, I know your deadline was the 5th. I really could use this help. Here's what I'm trying to accomplish. And you can go, okay, yeah, I can maybe do that. Could I like drop everything and go just do what they need specifically? Yeah, possibly. But let me work with you, right? And I think it's in that working together, going, well, here's what I got in stock. Here's what we can do to make this happen. It might not be exactly what you wanted, but right. And then they probably end up getting what they want, if not better. And now they're going, man, Becky really cares about me. I know her cutoff was the 5th, but she, on the 11th said, okay, let's do it. Right. So I think there's something to be said about that part of it too, to where when you put those things in place, you find the right situations. Yeah, you can. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that you should. So,
right. And it doesn't mean you have to. because that
Yep.
answer can still be no. Like that
Mhm.
doesn't work into my schedule. I just don't think I can, get it done in time for you. I don't think I can get it, accomplished as well as it should be for you. Um, you know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I do know when I first started too, though, that I said yes to a lot of customers because I was afraid of not getting the orders.
Yep.
Interesting.
Mhm.
So can you talk to us a little bit more about that, Becky? I think that's a really interesting thing to kind of. Whoops. Sorry, I'm clicking buttons and I shouldn't be. So, anyways,
I don't know where you're at here, but
yeah, it's okay.
like two screens
On
on
my
my
side.
side.
Yeah.
No,
Same here.
I'll quit playing. All right. So, talk to us a little bit more about that, though. Like the fear of having to or whatever. So, what?
And I don't know if it was so much the fear. Well, not the fear of having to take the order, but the fear of losing the order. Like that
Okay.
customer may not come back. If I can't do this for them right now, they're not going to come back and have me do anything again because I couldn't do
Mhm.
that for them before. That's what I remember feeling when I first started the first two Christmases. It was just like I'm just gonna, I know I can do this. Yes, I can do it. But should I have done it? That was the thing. But at the same time, it's like I'm new. I need orders. I feel like I don't feel like I can say no to anybody because you're trying to turn that hobby into a business and make that transition from just playing with what you're doing to making it a full-fledged business.
Yeah.
Um, and you just didn't, at that point, I did not feel like I could turn down orders. I
Yeah.
still don't love to turn down an order.
Sure.
um,
Sure.
but I have definitely learned that there are things that are not, they're just not what I want to do.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
And
um,
have you found? So, two things. First, I want to go back and say you use should in the place where we can use should when you're looking at should I have done that? It's a question mark, right? It's never a I should have done that. So anyhow, sorry. I know
I
I've
don't even remember what I said now that said should. So.
Should you do the order?
should you do the order, right? And that's when where there's a question mark, that's good. It's
Yeah.
when we are then beating ourselves up saying I should have done this differently. Right. So
Yeah.
anyhow, sorry.
I didn't know any better at the time. I couldn't have done anything different at that point because I
Yep,
didn't know any
exactly.
better.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
that's
know
perfect.
better now, and I definitely run my business differently than I did the first couple of years.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So also then talk to us about the part about like, okay, I still don't like to lose business, but you're kind of, how did you overcome that? Like, what was the ways that you were able to kind of change that mindset a little bit?
Well, I mean, obviously, mastermind groups with you guys, starting with the OSG and the Masters of Success, made a definite mental shift for me on how I looked at my business because it was so much more how to work on your business instead of in the business,
Okay.
and what can I adjust to make that happen. Um, and then I mean, just the continuous learning through the masterminds and staying up on getting that feedback from everybody else when you're saying, okay, well, I need to do this, I have to do this, and changing that mindset to, okay, I get to do this, this is how I want this to go. What's the goal for your Christmas season?
Mhm.
My Christmas season hasn't been as busy as some people's are. I do custom stuff. However, I do a lot of the sports stuff, and so some of that doesn't always play into the Christmas stuff. And I've definitely been trying to train my customers into, let's start thinking about Christmas earlier. And I think that's going to be one of my goals for 2025, is because I mean I started shopping in September, somewhere in there, and it's like I know nobody wants to hear about Christmas at that point. But if you start watching the stores, when does the Christmas stuff come out? End
Mhm.
of September?
Yep.
By
And
the end of
everybody's, yeah,
September?
yeah.
Mhm.
You
And
know?
everybody's like, oh my gosh, the Christmas stuff's out already. It's terrible. But then yet we go buy it. So it's not that terrible.
So I mean, I feel that the conversation that I need to have with my customers is, oh, I'm already thinking about Christmas. What are you guys thinking about? I know it's early, but in order for you to have your custom, if you want something custom made, then we need to start thinking about it a little bit earlier, and let's have something happen, sooner than later, so that we're not hitting a deadline of December 22nd and I'm telling you you can't do this. So
Yeah, I like that. That's
Yeah.
good. Cool. All
Did
right.
you see Michelle's comment on there?
Oh, yep. No, I didn't. Thank you. I have turned away many orders this year due to health circumstances, and I've explained that to customers. I did take a few orders after deadline only if the designs were done. Yeah, so making it.
but
I,
that's life.
exactly.
And that's the
Yeah.
season. That's the season that Michelle is working in right now, and she is doing exactly what she needs to do for herself,
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
not
100%.
to not overwhelm and stress out her
Yeah.
any more than she wants to be, which she doesn't want to be.
Yeah.
And so that was the decision, and it was a hard decision. I know she struggled with that to make
Yeah.
that decision, because actually I was one of those customers. I just had a couple things that I was
Well,
going to see if she wanted to do it, and she was willing to do it. That was great. If not, it was totally fine. But I wanted to ask her and
yeah.
give her the opportunity. And
Absolutely.
that's the other thing. I think we need to look at that our customers are actually asking us to give us the opportunity, and not that they're going to be that concerned that we say no to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Too.
yeah, we know that was because we talked about it in the mastermind group too, right? Like, how do you make those decisions? And like you said, it requires having the people around you that are willing to help you through those things, be willing to, tell you it's okay, or tell you, to think about it differently. And, that's not an easy thing,
Yeah.
so there's a reason why we do things the way we do with Masters of Success, and make that the way that it is. So, yeah,
Yeah.
appreciate
And
that.
then to add on to that, like just learning to, if you have that hesitation to take an order, pause for a moment and explore that. I think that's where that intuition, learning to listen to what it's telling us, and just explore. It doesn't mean that you have to go one way or the other. It just means just pause before you just say yes or you just say no. Really think about and use your resources like you have, like Becky used MOS and her team, right? And so I guess that's what I would encourage, and me too, pausing sometimes before we respond, and really think through what's going to be best for my business, and what's going to be best for the customer, and does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And sometimes when they catch you in the grocery store or face to face, and they're like, "Can you do this?" and you want to say yes right away. I mean, that, for
Yeah.
me, that answer is going to be, well, I need to check the production schedule. Send me an email or send me a text or something so I have it. Give me some details. Get some more details, because I need a T-shirt. Okay, that's not helpful. I have lots of T-shirts. Is one of these going to work, or are you going to need something specific? And
Yeah.
what's the graphic going to be? Is it something I can do in 5 minutes, or is it something that I had one customer that messaged me on Monday wanting to know if there's any chance I could have a shirt for her by Thursday. She picked it up today. It was a very simple thing that she wanted. It wasn't overly complicated, and it was something I could pull out of inventory. So the answer was an easy yes for that one.
Mm-hmm.
But, had that been a very complicated design or something that we needed to go back and forth on 15 times, it wouldn't have probably happened. But so
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, okay, so let's. I want to hear from the people that are listening in right now, right? Like, okay, we didn't have anybody to 10 that's completely feeling good, right? So I do want to hear, what is it that, because we just talked through a couple things, like orders, challenges that arise, how to deal with some of those things. But what else is out there that we can talk through and help you guys with, or I don't know, just, yeah, I think what are the challenges that you guys are facing that might be slightly different than that, and let's see if there's some tools out there, because I think that's what we're doing, right? Becky, you've shared some great tools. Kylene, you have too. I think what you just said about just listening to our intuition, slowing down, being willing to explore things, is so crucial for us. And like Becky said, there's going to be those moments where it's really hard to do that, and so you got to kind of plan for those, plan ahead for that. What's your anchor statement? Yeah. Oh, it's so great to see you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I need to get back into the office and check my production schedule before I can make any commitments. I want to make sure we do this right for you. Right. That could be a statement that you share. Right. And so what's the right statement for you? And then,
And honestly, Aaron, without having Masters of Success and Fun Live in June, those statements aren't things that I would have been able to say. I would have said, yep, we can do that. Send me the information. And then I would have got the information and went, that's way more than I was expecting it to be, because I thought they said they wanted a t-shirt. It turned into 10 or, something like that. And so those tools, having the Masters of Success, attending the live event, and the live event coming up is really the things that have moved my business to where I currently am, to where I can be sitting at that 9, 2 weeks out from 13 days out from Christmas.
Yeah.
That's really where I believe it's at.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow. Thank you for sharing that, Becky. I think people don't quite always see it, right? Because this is not something tangible that like, oh, it's a thing. It's a shiny object. No, this is a progressive, you gotta work on it, right? There's no magic bullet. And so now, speaking of that, and Chandler, I see your comment. So we're going to put that on pause for 1 second, because you had mentioned, Becky, about the kind of live events. And I was actually, I mentioned, like I was feeling it a little bit. I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed. And so sometimes when I'm feeling like that, I have to really kind of back myself up. You guys know me. I love thinking 30,000 foot view, big picture. So I'm starting to, look ahead. And I was looking at pictures of this place in North Dakota. And I'll get the name wrong. What's it called, Becky?
Coteau de Prairie.
Oh, yeah, I would have been way off.
I want to hear it.
No. I probably would have blown it so bad I wouldn't even been close, not even hooked on phonics style. But so can we do that real quick? Because I was looking at those pictures and I'm like, can we go now? I'm sure there's some snow on the ground this time of year, but
it would be decorated with Christmas, though. It's so gorgeous up there.
Oh, wow. Sounds awesome.
All right. So I'm going to see if I can get a transition. Becky, you're going to be out for 1 second, but we'll be right back in. So hold on a second. Let's see if we can do this. Okay. No, wait a second. Wrong scene. No. All right. Now I got you back in. So there's the start of it. Now let me see if I can get this in there and not mess it up. Okay. That I think is going to be in there. Okay, that's not big enough though, so we may just have to.
Can you take us out while you show it?
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm still figuring out this new studio, so you guys just have to bear with me for 1 second here.
Doing great.
Thank you. All right. Well, tell us a little bit more about this thing real quick while I'm messing with this, if you don't mind.
So in April 10th through the 12th, I always have to check and think about the dates. We would love to have you join us it is in North Dakota. I know that seems like it's in the middle of nowhere. It kind of is. But that's actually what makes it the most appealing part for me. You can kind of see in the little picture, there is a lodge. It is sitting up on a hill. It's not a mountain. It's a hill. North Dakota, South Dakota, we don't have mountains. We only have hills. But it just overlooks the pastures and the rolling hills of that area. There's 13 rooms. We have 11 available, right? Because we need to stay because we want to be there with you guys.
Right.
But it's going to be all inclusive. We're going to feed you there. We're going to network there. We're going to learn. And most importantly, I think we're going to relax and reset and regroup. it's just the most beautiful place. I think. I mean, there are lots of tropical areas that I think are beautiful too. But I've been here for a few different women's retreats. I have not actually stayed overnight there, as my parents live just a few miles away, so we always go there. Um, but I know there's been weddings out there. I know there's been reunions out there. I know there's been retreats out there. Um, it is full wood lodge, log home type building. Great big huge windows overlooking. Um, there's a basement level, there's the main level, there's an upper level, and then there's one more level that you can climb up the steps and go to the 360 lookout.
Cool.
So, and they do have full kitchen stuff that we would have available. What am I missing?
Um, it's just a gift to yourself to be there, to truly recharge. And then you're in this beautiful scenery with other amazing people, and you get to grow in spirituality and your business and all the things, right, Becky?
Yes.
um, I mean, and what a beautiful place to be able to do it at.
Yep.
The part too, you talked about, how it's in North Dakota, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, but that is the most attractive part. It really is. We just took out all that outside pressure, right? You could just have this time, everything will be taken care of for you, and you just get to show up without any of that extra pressure. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, me too. The planning stages are there. And once we get through Christmas, I can hopefully dig into it a little deeper and have some of the fun stuff that I'm looking forward to doing with it. Get some of that stuff rolling and whatnot. But I know, Erin, we've talked about, those of you or anybody that was there at Fun Live, we crammed a lot of information in there. And I don't doubt that we won't do the same thing here. However, the setting is going to be completely different. The setting is going to be in a much more relaxed atmosphere, I guess is the way I would think of it. How else do I mean, you'll be together. And to me, that was the whole point. It was, once at Fun Live, we were able to kind of disperse and then come back together. And to me, it would have been just as much fun, if not more fun, to just be able to stay together. Our group got to be really good friends, good network. I mean, I've networked with several of these ladies that were there. And just to be able to have that support network that came from that group of people this past year has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. All right, I think I got it. I think I might have it. This really shouldn't be that difficult, but for whatever reason, it was. So let's see if we can actually see some
There we
pictures a
go.
little bit bigger there. All right. So you want to, look at that.
That's gorgeous. Yeah.
Obviously, some good food. Seeing that sunrise or sunset, maybe. I'm not sure which one it is. Oh, there it is with the snow.
Yep.
Yeah. More snow. Love that. Right. Just happy people. I was trying to get to the Christmas stuff. We won't be there at that time, but yeah, there.
It's a good one. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's the main level and up. So.
It's awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. So with that being said, we know that we were talking about how much time things take, right? Like kind of building up to it and stuff like that. Shopping ahead, all that kind of fun stuff. This is an investment in yourself that is going to be better than any Christmas gift you could get. So maybe tell the husband, wife, partner that, skip the thing and let's go do this. Right. So
still a business write-off.
Still a business write-off. Absolutely. Yep. Serena says that support network is huge, especially when so many of us work by ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So, All right. Well, we wanted to,
Beautiful.
yeah, share that with you guys. Anything else about the? I guess we still are waiting for that first person to sign up. Is that correct, Becky?
As far as I know, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
So just reach out to us too if you guys have questions and maybe you don't feel comfortable asking anything here. Reach out to any one of us. We're happy to talk through it, what you can kind of expect, and any concerns you might have or hesitations. Let's just talk through it and see if it is right for you.
Absolutely. I guess the only thing we didn't share is if people want to find out more, get signed up, that type of thing. If I find where I did with that. Oh, boy. Oh, there it is. It was at the very bottom. Okay. So osg.link/SOS. That will take you right to the page. You can reserve your spot there. You can ask, but like Kylene said, reach out to any of us and we are happy to give you more information. I mean, just thinking about that, right? Like having that clarity, having that confidence, having that recharge. I still think one of the biggest things is, I don't know about you guys, but part of the things that overwhelm me at times is the decision overload that we get to make as a small business owner, right? Like Kylie and I were talking about, I think I've said this before, but Kylie and I were talking about this the other day, like, I don't care what's for dinner anymore, right? I've made so many decisions throughout my day. And, when you have that confidence and clarity and why it is that you're doing what you do, who your ideal customers are, just you're aligned, right? That, like, think about times when you feel aligned with what you're doing, how emotionally, how physically you feel, and walking out of this 3-day event, you'll feel that way. Plus, you'll feel recharged. Plus, you'll feel relaxed. Plus, you will understand that you have the tools, you have the resources to overcome any challenges that come your way. Plus, you're going to have this network of people that are on your team, that are on your side. So, anyhow, we could talk about that for a very long time and go from there. All right. Anything else oh yeah. We got to get back to Chandler's comment from before about the 7. Gotta find where. It's Jerry said, I'm going to get this one real quick. My old business was a struggle with my recent health struggles. My new business is more workable and forgiving of deadlines. Good.
That's great.
Awesome. Yeah. That's good to hear, Jerry. Way to redesign that and get aligned. Chandler said, my 7 is because I would rather stay home and watch Christmas movies on Christmas and Christmas Eve. Then with the end of the year, I'm at a 7 due to my proposal for 2025 getting approved. So,
all right.
So Chandler, help me out here. Did it get approved? And now you're like, okay, I have to actually come through on it. And so that's a little overwhelming. Or is it overwhelming because you're waiting for it to get approved? So we could talk about either side of that if you guys want to real quick here.
Yeah, I mean, it probably takes a lot of work to prepare that proposal, and you want to make sure you do it right and you don't overcommit, but you don't, you also want to deliver exactly what you're saying. So to get it right, that's a lot of pressure, especially going into an already busy season. So believe in yourself that what you prepare is perfect and it is right, and things can be adjusted moving forward.
Cool. Okay. Well, hey, first we probably need to break out the pom-poms, right? It got approved. So that's the first place to start. I guess the other thing I would say, and I'm curious to hear your take on this, Becky, is what Rena said, right? It will work out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. That's that faith side of things that we need to find, which can be hard. When I think the other trait that I've noticed about business owners is we don't like to leave anything to chance, right? Mm-hmm. So we have to try to control, and I'm going to use air quotes there. We have to try to control everything, even though ultimately nothing's actually in our control other than our own responses to things. So, right. Yeah. So anyhow, Becky, Kylie, either of you guys want to add anything to that?
Well, first of all, absolutely, Chandler. You should be proud and excited to have that done. That I know was a lot of work. I know you were working on that. And I agree. I agree with Rena that things find a way to work out,
Mhm.
and just keep working, but yet set yourself up for the celebrating. When we talk about doing that, make sure that you're celebrating those wins as you're making the progress through it
Yeah.
and working on it. Because if we don't stop and celebrate the small wins, then we just get burnt out and we can't see past that. So
Yeah.
Awesome. Love that.
Yeah.
Can I, Kylene, before you share something there, I want to, um, I love what you said there, Becky, like just keep working on it and taking those steps. I was actually thinking about that. I don't know when it was, yesterday, today, maybe, recently. We'll just go with that. And I had this kind of realization that maybe it's even in that mindset that we have to be a little bit careful with the way we go about it, right? Because again, I've been thinking a lot about changing have tos into get tos, and so I was just thinking, man, if I feel like I'm working at it, like I think it's just in the action, not necessarily the work. Now, I think they're probably the same thing, but how we kind of come at that, like, am I taking an action? Am I doing something?
right.
And then letting go of the results. So again, I know I'm splitting hairs there a little bit, but I would almost even think about it like just continuously taking action, some action, any action, doesn't matter what action, that action will build momentum.
And I think that's definitely where I mean I used work probably interchangeably, but
Oh, I do
using
too. Absolutely.
the word action make it more plausible. I mean,
Ooh,
like,
I like that.
because if I can take that action, that's going to move me forward. If
Mhm.
I'm working, I could be working doing a lot of things and not get anything done. And
Yeah,
then I'm,
good
you know,
point.
but if you're actually taking that action on the things that need to be done, then you're going to move yourself forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I
the
like the action. What was the word, Kylie?
intentional
Yeah,
action.
I
And
hadn't heard it yet this week.
yeah. And then just understanding, why are we doing what we're doing, right? Just constantly staying connected to that long term plan, goal, your why, your reason, all of that.
Really good. Really
Yeah.
good. Wow. Uh,
we
Chandler,
cut off we cut off Kylene again.
yeah, that's it. I think it was me, unfortunately. No, it's Kylene's turn, and then Chandler wanted to make sure that she
He's
was clear that it's
awesome.
for Aaron, not Becky. Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody
Thank
understands
you.
that. Love it. Oh, such a great conversation today, you guys. I again had a blast, and if you guys have other things that we need to cover that would be useful for you, I do love that about Rising Tide Talks is that um, I don't know. I feel like we can just go wherever it takes us, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So, all right. Anything else that we need to cover, you guys?
no, if we we want that one person to start be the one that breaks the ice and gets there first, to sign up for Summit of Success. And um,
Yeah. And I made promises, so hold me to those things.
mhm,
Yep.
absolutely. So,
All right. So yeah, let's see what happens here. Summit of Success. Um, is it you guys make this decision call for me, but I think we should say that the promises I made are expire at the end of the year.
I agree.
Sounds good. Yep.
Okay. All right.
We
So
need some action takers, and I think we have some in this group. I don't know what's holding them back, so I want to know what's going on.
yeah, reach out for sure. Love it. Love it.
Mhm.
Okay. Awesome, you guys. Let's get back into our evenings. Have a great evening. We will be back next Wednesday. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I know that we're getting close to holiday, and we'll probably take a little time off in there, maybe. But well, we would definitely take time off on. Yeah, we won't
Yeah.
be
And
here on the
Christmas.
25th.
Yeah.
I don't think our kids would be very happy about that. But
Nope. Nope.
we'll at least pop in and say hello in the Facebook group over there. How about
Yep.
that?
Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you, you guys. Appreciate it. Great conversation tonight, everybody. And we will talk to everybody again next week.
Have a great week.
Bye, everyone.